Hey, Elise, Pickett here with the Urban Harvest, and whether you are looking to do a full lawn conversion or if you're just looking to kill grass in the garden, sheet mulching can be a wonderful way to build your soil from scratch. Not everybody is going to be looking to do a full lawn conversion like I did. I totally get that. But I still think that sheet mulching has a very useful place for all gardeners, even if you're just doing a raised bed or two. It is a wonderful way to kill grass naturally and get rid of your lawn so that you can grow food or raised beds or even go to a no-mow lawn. So today we are going to be talking about sheet mulching, what it is and how to do it so that you can grow your garden without constantly battling grass. Sheet mulching is a permaculture technique where you can easily smother out grass or a lawn or weeds or even just building organic matter for a sandy soil pit of a backyard. It is basically taking mulch and building the soil organic matter, and by adding it in a thick enough layer, you're able to smother out all of the weeds and grass so that you don't have to constantly battle grass in the garden beds. So I do have a video that goes through and shows everybody a 1 year before and after for my urban homestead. So if you kind of want to see what this place started like and what it is now, make sure to check the link above and that'll take you to that video. But today we're going to be discussing specifically how to sheet mulch. So this area that I'm showing you here is my main garden and growing area. And I took out the grass when we first moved in. We did sheet mulching, and I have yet to have weeds come popping up aside from a few blow-in, easily removed weeds or plants or little sprigs of grass. But as far as the grass that was here and established with rhizomes in the ground, I have not had to bother or battle them growing up through my garden bed or any of the mulch in this area since we sheet mulched about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So sheet mulching can be a very effective way to kill out the grass for your garden. I did it on a very large scale here. We did end up doing front to back, front yard and backyard sheet mulching. But even if you're literally going to just smother out the grass for a single raised bed garden, this is still a useful tool for you. So clearly sheet mulching is very effective at smothering out and killing the grass. But the other amazing thing that it can do for you is build soil organic matter. It is wonderful for working our sandy soils and incorporating a little bit more of that black, that rich humusy soil that plants like to grow in. You can see here I have some volunteer callaloo and some Egyptian spinach that decided to seed themselves directly into the sheet mulch. And because it's been a year and a half or so, it's had time to decompose, and it has turned into awesome growing medium for all of these plants. I'm almost to the point now where I didn't need to use raised beds if I chose not to. The soil organic matter has already been built by sheet mulching. So how do you go about sheet mulching if you want to do a small area or a large area? It's the same exact concept. Now obviously I'm not going to be able to show you from scratch. I do have a few pictures that can show you what to do at first, but essentially you're going to be creating a temporary barrier between the grass or weeds and the mulch that you're doing. That can be either cardboard or newspaper, several sheets thick, overlapped. When you're laying all of this out, you do want to make sure that the edges fully overlap by at least an inch. Otherwise, you will have grass that creeps up in between. Sourcing that much material can go to recycling centers if you have them in your area. You can go to grocery stores. A lot of times they will have those broken down cardboard boxes. Ideally, you could potentially even network or ask an appliance store, because they'll have nice large sheets of cardboard for you to lay down, which just makes the process much quicker and more effective. So once you've got your area, whether it be small or large, covered in either cardboard or newspaper, you're going to be laying mulch. A lot of mulch, especially if you're going to be doing a large area. When you're sheet mulching, you want to do at least 9 inches, ideally even 12 inches. A lot of people hear that and freak out. They say that's way too tall, it'd be awkward to walk on. This stuff settles super quickly. And if you don't put enough, you're going to end up getting grass creeping through. Do it right the first time and you won't have any issues. If you take shortcuts, it's not going to be as effective. So when you are starting, you have your newspaper or cardboard, and then you have an option here. If you're looking to eventually grow directly into the sheet mulch, it can be a really good idea to add in some organic or nitrogen in between that layer in your mulch. If you want to do that, you can do things like coffee grounds. You can do vegetable scraps, although I don't really recommend it just because you will probably end up with critters rummaging through it. If you can source enough nitrogen and you want to go that route, you can put that layer in between the cardboard and the mulch. Otherwise, you can skip it. And that is especially important when you're looking to just smother a lawn, to create a no-mow backyard or no-mow front yard. So if you're not looking to have anything grow there, just do the mulch. If you're looking to eventually grow there, add in a little bit of nitrogen, and it'll just help things decompose a little bit quicker and make a richer soil. How do you source that much mulch? There are a few different resources. If you're in a city or urban area, a lot of the municipalities will have a mulch where you can go to the city. A lot of times it's free mulch. Sometimes they'll even deliver it to your house. Another option can be chip drop. There's pros and cons to chip drop. It is free, but you don't know when they are going to come. So if you have a project and you know you want to get it done that weekend, you may or may not get it in time. Also, you can't ask for a certain amount. So if you get a chip drop, you could get yards of mulch. So I only suggest it for larger projects. It is what I've used only as my chip source here at my property, and is a really useful tool because when I need it, they come and drop it and I don't have to pay for it. But it is for larger projects, so keep that in mind. Once you have your mulch, you're just going to create that nice thick 9 to 12 inch layer of mulch on top of your cardboard or newspaper, and you have sheet mulched. It's that simple. High foot traffic areas are going to wear down quicker than areas where you never walk. This area here we frequent. It's right next to our work shed, on the way to the chicken coop, the garbage cans, the compost. We constantly, on a daily basis, walk back and forth along here, and it has really worn down the sheet mulch. You will have to replenish the mulch to make sure that the grass doesn't grow back. If you do it once, it will remove the grass initially, but it will come back. If you want it to stay gone, you will have to bring in fresh mulch, sometimes once a year, sometimes twice a year for high traffic areas, and add in a fresh layer to keep the grass out so that it doesn't come back. So when you are refreshing your mulch, you do not need to relayer in any sort of cardboard or newspaper unless you have grass that has already started peeping through. I really highly suggest staying on top of it and doing it before that ever happens. If you stay on top of it and get things covered before that grass ever has a chance to reestablish itself, you're not going to have to battle it like you were or like you would if you let it come creeping back in. So as long as there is no grass that has started to come back, you do not have to use cardboard or newspaper after that initial laying down. You just put in a fresh layer of mulch and you're good to go. This is the very edge of our property at the alley, and we didn't put a very thick layer of mulch here. We're constantly driving by it. It's on the very edge of the property. We compost here, so we're constantly moving, and we didn't put a very thick layer. And you can see here that we have grass growing through. This is just to prove the point. If you do not do a thick enough layer, and if you do not do the cardboard or newspaper, which we did not do here, you will get grass intrusion. Do it right the first time, you won't have these issues. I hope this video on sheet mulching shows you how to get it done and how useful it can be for a vegetable garden or for a full lawn conversion. It's free and easy, and it's very effective if it's done correctly. Don't forget to add that newspaper or cardboard layer, overlap the edges, and don't skimp on the mulch. 9 to 12 inches minimum, and you are good to go. If you found this video helpful, make sure to head on down below and give it a thumbs up. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you're alerted every time a new video comes out on Florida vegetable gardening. Have a great day.